God, what a ridiculous day today. What just an absolutely ridiculous day today. It's about 9:30 p.m. West Coast time on Monday, July 7th. I'm doing a few videos on what happened in Los Angeles today. That incredible showing of force that took place that involved ATF, Customs and Border Patrol, DEA, FBI, FPS, don't know who they are, HSI, don't know who they are, ICE, USMS, the IRS, LA Sheriff's Department, and LAPD. In a full-scale military invasion of the MacArthur Park area of Los Angeles to put on a show of force. I've done 2 videos prior to this one on my page where I've been going through an article by a journalist named Ken Klippenstein. You can find this article on his website at kenklippenstein.com. Headline exclusive: Operation Excalibur in Los Angeles was a show of force by federal military, federal law enforcement, and local law enforcement, specifically to intimidate the civilian population in the area and to show civilians that the U.S. military, federal law enforcement can move freely throughout their communities unmolested and do whatever they want to do to try to intimidate civilians. So, I've gone through the first couple of parts of this article. I did one separate video on the executive summary for Operation Excalibur. That's a good one. We have the concept of the operation itself. Then this video, I'm going to go through the threat situation. The threat situation posed by the 20,000 civilians that live in and around MacArthur Park near downtown Los Angeles. The operation was meticulously planned. It is not a distraction from the Epstein memo that DOJ released last night. There's no way that 9 federal agencies and LAPD and the LA Sheriff's Department pulled this together in 12 hours. This is not a distraction from the Epstein memo that DOJ listed last night. This is actually the entire point. Putting military troops on the ground in American cities to intimidate people that Donald Trump and his administration and his supporters don't like. Democrat cities and Democrat states. This is authoritarianism full on. Donald Trump has his criminal immunity. He has his ICE budget. The annual budget for ICE is now larger than the entire budget for the Israeli military, who is conducting 2 wars right now. And he got his order from the Supreme Court last week saying that lower courts can't issue nationwide injunctions against his executive orders, and we're going to see a wave of new and just egregious executive orders in the coming weeks. Anyway, this operation was meticulously planned. The threat level was listed as high. Quote, criminal elements, likely including FTO, Foreign Terrorist Organization, MS-13, consider MacArthur Park to be their home turf and could escalate to lethal violence. Spoiler alert, there was nobody there. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people from ATF, ICE, DEA, FBI, Customs and Border Patrol, the IRS, LAPD, and the LA Sheriff's Department showed up at this park, and nobody was there. Nobody was there. All right, reading from the threat situation that was prepared by the United States Army. So apparently the United States Army is involved. Overall threat assessment, high. Due to the current situation in Los Angeles, there are no protests, there are no riots. There are simply 4,000 members of California National Guard and 200 Marines on the ground, along with people from 9 other federal agencies. There is no current situation in Los Angeles. Due to the current situation in Los Angeles, the overall threat to DoD personnel operating in the area is high. Potential for protests to arrive on site and transition to riots didn't happen. Criminal elements, likely including MS-13, consider the park to be their home turf and could escalate to lethal violence. DoD personnel may be at higher risk due to the general sentiment of the civilian populace toward government personnel. Civilians don't like authoritarian bullshit that involves law enforcement and the military. I rephrase that for you. The most likely threat faced by DoD personnel are crimes of opportunity, such as assault, theft, and vandalism. Weird when you put hundreds and hundreds of fucking members of the military and federal law enforcement into civilian populations, that civilian populations might take issue with that. Threat activity. Known weapons. Known. Small arms. Well, I mean, my arms are normal size. Knives, fireworks, rocks, improvised hand weapons. Ugh. Recent activities in similar environments. Federal agents experience routine violent response to similar operations, invading people's neighborhoods. MS-13 likely maintains access to multiple 8 to 10-story residential apartment buildings immediately adjacent to the park. They weren't there today. Nobody was arrested today. Not one person was arrested today. Estimated resistance levels and lethality potential. These guys are playing fucking Call of Duty, man. Most likely resistance is large-scale protest with improvised weapons. Neither of those things happened today. Most dangerous resistance is organized use of small arms to attempt to kill or seriously injure federal personnel with shots of opportunity from large structures around the park. They think MS-13 is up in these buildings with snipers? It's a fucking residential area surrounding a park. Because here's where things went off the rails. ICE and Customs and Border Patrol failed to coordinate or communicate with one another. The military showed up late, and Los Angeles police and sheriffs weren't notified until 2 hours before the operation started. We were on the objective on site for 24 minutes, said a National Guard member. Many of the phase lines, the different units, didn't report, and it didn't happen. So we parked, and then we left. Soldiers didn't get out of the trucks. They stayed in the back of the 5-ton military trucks, sweating in the heat. This is just the latest operation that didn't go off as planned, amplifying the sense amongst California guardsmen that this whole spectacle is idiotic, shameful, and a waste of time. Part of the reason for the confusion is the sheer number of government agencies involved. Again, ATF, Customs and Border Patrol, DEA, FBI, FPS, HSI, ICE, USMS, IRS. The fucking IRS was there. LAPD and Los Angeles sheriffs. One Army source told me that it all felt like some joint military operation overseas, where soldiers need to identify themselves as friendlies in congested urban battlefields. Treating Los Angeles as a foreign country with insurgents to be defeated, military and Homeland Security intelligence views MacArthur's Park as a viper's nest of illegality. This operation today cost millions and millions of dollars and involved hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. Meanwhile, every single person who was there could be helping out with rescue efforts in Texas. Every single one of these fucking people could have been in Texas after this weekend's flooding. It is shameful that these service members who are serving with distinction have been deployed to Los Angeles instead of to Texas, where they could actually contribute and try to help save people's lives and find the missing